Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 2, The House of Black and White. Took my baby on a Saturday, bang.
I thought we stopped at the singing.
Is that girl with you?
You done?
You know what I realized? That George is so good at naming things. Like the Children of the Forest, the Faceless Assassins, The House of Black and White.
Dark wings, dark words. That's a hell of a saying. The sayings, too.
He's a master of nouns.
Hmm.
I'll give you time. I'm sure you've got something to say. Cooking something up.
No, it's just, I'm off my game today. It happens sometimes. What is it? Episode?
Should we start again?
Yeah, probably.
Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 2, The House of Black and White. Black and white cookies, man. Imagine that. It was just a factory for black and white cookies, bringing the world together. Ends racism. Perfect harmony.
I'll start again.
That's a Seinfeld joke. Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 2, The House of Black and White. How many till Hardhome? 7?
Yeah, I'm counting down.
Oh, I can't wait for Hardhome. I already got the thumbnail ready.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the Night King raising his arms.
Ooh, real original.
And he's got a Pokemon hat on. You haven't seen that, right?
Now we're getting somewhere.
Gotta raise 'em all.
Okay.
Night's King.
All right.
And he's holding 2 Pokeballs.
Now you're kind of losing me.
1 Master Ball. Throws it at John.
Stopped. You should have stopped while you were
Shake.
ahead. Now
Shake.
you're just moving too much. Can you do a thumbnail GIF? They should invent that.
I don't think the thumbnail GIF. Only in Harry Potter.
Harry Potter did invent the GIF. Little known fact.
Yeah, they were ahead of the game.
I was going to say, you do the one of him wiggling like you see on Twitter. You ever see that one?
Oh, yeah, he's got the hips.
Yeah.
Better hips, Night King or Podrick?
Shakira.
Oh, hey, to make it go mad. All right, first scene.
Third time's a charm. That was a good one.
I'm thinking of just keeping all 3. I think that would be funny. So it's the first time that we see Arya in Season 5, and she's going to Braavos, and she sails under the Titan of Braavos. And I love these stories in Westeros and in Essos about the Titan would rise with fire in his eyes whenever the city was under attack. It's a great legend. Arya doesn't believe it. Then the Titan sounds.
Don't be afraid. He's announcing our arrival.
Braavos looks awesome, man.
It does.
It doesn't get enough credit for being just visually stunning.
Yeah, even watching her sail into the city on the little rowboat, it all looks good. And I'm thinking, that's got to be CGI. Some of it.
Yeah, I'm sure they have some natural
But it looks
landscape.
great.
If you see,
You can't really tell the difference.
No, a lot of the behind the scenes, they use like a lot of natural landscape and natural buildings, and they build off of it using CGI.
That's
But
what I've always loved about this show.
It blends so well that it's
It does.
it's not really apparent.
The more that's real in the shot, then the CGI is going to look that much better. Cut to Attack of the Clones. But Arya arrives at the House of Black and White. She gave the man from Braavos the coin. He takes her there, and he says, any man from Braavos would have taken you, but this is where I leave you. And it's customary to knock if you see a big door.
Not just gonna walk in. It's a house, after all.
Now, I wonder if this was the character that we see in the book. Is this what he's supposed to look like? Because I know in the book, we never really see Jaqen H'ghar in his Season 2 form. It's an older man that takes on Arya as an acolyte.
Yeah, Jaqen, he has some, people theorize in one of the epilogues of Feast, I think it is, that he's over by the Citadel. So they probably just combined it just to save time, and I don't think they were going to explore that storyline. So, yeah, and there's even some question to, even when he reveals at the end, spoiler alert, right? You already saw filled with spoilers, so.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
Jaqen.
It is Jaqen, but you can still argue whether or not that actually is Jaqen.
Right, we're not sure because that could just be somebody else using that face. And even in the book, people think that the old man could be Jaqen, but he's just using another identity. I mean, I guess I kind of understand it. He's testing her in a way.
Yeah.
Arya stays out there all night. She's reciting the names.
I think it probably is. I think they have like a little bit of a connection that he probably remembered their time together in season. I'm not sure if they directly reference what happened in Season 2, but I feel like there is like an unspoken connection they have.
Yeah, definitely.
And it might just help because it looks like him, right?
Yeah, certainly. And they focus on her list of names as well. And the list has gotten shorter, inexplicably here. There are some people that she forgot to mention: Melisandre, Beric Dondarrion, Thoros of Myr, the brother without banners. I guess she just wants to take them all out. But not anymore. They focus on Meryn Trant, and we know why.
Yeah.
Because later in the season, she brutally murders him. But she's still holding dear to that, and this is the place that you want to go if you want to knock some names off of your list.
Yeah.
Stretch the game out, etch your name out, put Arya on top, drop names for you non-stop. Bravosi.
Well, yeah, she's waiting out there for a couple days in the rain and stuff. Then she throws the coin into the river.
Yeah, to the river.
River?
Probably man-made.
Lake?
Lake.
I don't know the difference between bodies of water. I'm going to say the ocean.
Yeah, that's definitely the Pacific.
Yeah.
I think so.
Or a bay.
It could be a marsh.
What are
No,
what are
it's
those
probably
called
not
in
marsh.
Venice? I feel like they have one of those in Bravo.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Just in the background. And then it goes back to Westeros, and Podrick and Brienne are at the local inn at the crossroads. Every inn. It's just a chain. They've established a chain
It's
throughout
the Applebee's
Westeros.
of Westeros.
Yes, it's the Applebee's, and they're there, and they're enjoying their food and their liquor. Well, Podrick says no.
No, I think he just smiles at her.
Oh, he just
Yeah.
the rep travels that far, huh?
No, he smiles at her.
Oh,
Yeah. But
okay.
you can see it in his smile.
She probably got that from just this, like, oh, he hangs.
I like to call him tripod.
We talked about this too in the last episode, that these moments of Sansa becoming more observant, noticing more things about Littlefinger, questioning him, turning the tables on him, topsy-turvy.
Well, yeah,
we
she
needed more of this.
Yeah, she brings up the letter that he received, and he says it's about a marriage, and Sansa thinks it's about him.
Even at this point, the audience is in the dark.
But yeah, Pod, very keen. A lot of the stuff he learned from Tyrion carrying over, where he wasn't a squire to him in this traditional sense, where he learned how to fight and be a valiant knight, but information, knowing what houses, what their banners are, who they are, and just remembering faces and connecting them. So
Yeah, and Brienne walks over, and she's familiar with Littlefinger as well because they were both in Renly's camp. And that's something that in the moment I forgot about. Yeah, they know each other too. Brienne tries to get Sansa once again. She failed with Arya, and she fails here with Sansa.
she doesn't have like great social skills.
No, she doesn't.
Just come over, like, hey, Sansa, hey, what's up? You know,
Right. Littlefinger, what's up, man? LF.
not like this. I swore a vow to your dead mother.
Gets down on one knee
Yeah,
like she's about to propose.
yeah. It's like, all
Doesn't
right,
really work that well.
ease up a little.
She was good with Arya, though, when she was chopping it up about the fighting, and
Well, yeah, that's what you need. Well, she
Yeah.
didn't know it was Arya. Once she hears Stark, she gets the yips.
yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She freezes up.
Well, yeah, Sansa refuses, and she even remarks that Sansa didn't want to trust a stranger or something along those lines, and she's right for that. And she understands, and she's not going to stop, but, it's kind of Sansa betting, like what she said last season, betting on what she knows rather than the unknown.
And it does turn out to be a huge mistake for Sansa. And we've seen this time and time again in the show, that characters, they make these decisions, and it's the butterfly effect. This is just the road that they go on, and if they would have just taken another turn, then she would have been in safer hands. Like you said, at this point, she still trusts Littlefinger. And then that whole fight ensues where Brienne lets all the horses go, and she's killing everybody on horseback, and her and Podrick get separated. And this is so funny when Podrick throws the rock at the fighter. He has no idea what to do. And it is cool that Brienne starts training him in later episodes. But at this point, it's Brienne to the rescue again. She just proves that she's one of the more formidable fighters in the show.
Those are Knights of the Vale we're talking about, too.
Hell yeah. Yeah, definitely.
These aren't no
10 of them, I think Podrick said.
Manderleys.
Right.
I don't know.
Or Freys.
Yeah.
With their little hats, their little bucket hats.
But Pod does question her about whether or not, does her vow still hold up? Is this worth it? Arya refused you, and now Sansa refused you. Brienne's not willing to give up.
No, yeah, she has the line, do you trust Littlefinger to take care of her? And Podrick says, no, I don't. So their quest continues. It gets a little boring after this scene.
You just don't get it.
Probably not, yeah, no. I don't get why they made this decision. I don't get this one either. Cersei summons Jaime back in King's Landing, and she shows him the gift that was given to them by the Martells. It's really cool. It's kind of scary, when he touches it, it snaps at him.
A medieval jack-in-a-box. Well, it's Myrcella's necklace is in the fangs of the viper, and Cersei's enraged right here. And when you say, you like to say Cersei doesn't really love her children, and I think scenes like this just show you that even though she uses the death of her children as a way to put herself into power, I think at this moment she still cares for Myrcella and Tommen, especially right after the death of Joffrey.
I think she definitely loves Myrcella the most, because I think she sees in Myrcella what she was forced to do as a child. And she says, I think in Season 6, that she was always good, she was always pure, even though I was evil, that she was her chance at redemption, almost in a second life. So I can believe that. But in this moment, I think she's just still furious at Tyrion. Obviously, she's scared for Myrcella's life, but Tyrion, I think we kind of swept that under the rug. That was a mistake, sending Myrcella to Dorne. I don't know how it benefited the Lannisters in any way other than him finding out that Pycelle was a rat. You just put yourself on Cersei's bad side, and it kind of unfolded into the events of you being exiled from the Seven Kingdoms.
Are you thinking both show and book?
Both more so in the book.
Yeah, but you can also say you're at war, and Dorne and the Martells have known to hate your family. If you give them Marcella, you keep them out of the fray. Imagine War of the Five Kings. Now you have the Dornish coming up from the south.
That's the thing. I don't think they were ever going to get involved. That's a good point, too. I can understand his thinking in both ways. I don't know if it was a successful move. I don't know if we can deem it successful. In this case, the change to have Jaime and Bronn going to Dorne, I don't know. It's interesting. And at this point, not knowing what's going to happen, I can see people being interested in how it's going to unfold. But
what was the alternative? Jaime sieging Riverrun for a season? 2 seasons? Because he does it in season 6 for a little bit.
Pick up the Stoneheart story thread and try and tie it on your own. Let's see what you got, D&D.
I mean, conceptually, I didn't mind it. I mean, that's basically what Jaime does for the most part of book 4 and 5.
Yeah, but you could have tied in Stoneheart with Brienne, and I think they shouldn't have been scared to give certain characters a lesser role.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Jaime has to do.
Did it with Bran.
Right, they did it with Bran. They completely cut him out. And what this does, it also just eliminates the Arianne storyline. At this point, you're probably still holding out for that. What's going to happen with Marcella in season 5? Because there's a later scene where Elia Martell mentions the Sand Snakes, and at this point, you're probably thinking it's still going to be the 8 of them. Although there was casting news and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean...
Well, he goes to get Bronn, who... leave Bronn alone. He finally found a nice wife, a nice castle that he's going to murder to get. He's living the dream. The sellsword dream.
Lawless Stokeworth.
She's just so encapsulated by everything that has to do with King's Landing. And even when she sees Jaime, like, oh my God, it's Jaime Lannister.
Yeah, it's like meeting a celebrity.
Yeah.
And he's standing there, too. You think he thought that? It's like, should I just put one leg up and, like, just be looking into the distance? Bronn, my fella. She seems like a nice girl.
Yeah. But
And Bronn was going to hook her up, too.
I probably would have killed her, too, after the wedding.
I think
get the castle.
She seems like so not a threat.
Yeah, true. That's
just
true.
Keep her around.
But, yeah, Jaime convinces him to go to Dorne with him. In return, he'll get a better bride and a better castle. So
It's not a castle.
Yeah.
Still hasn't got that castle.
Just give him fucking Harrenhal already.
Yeah, you would think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Bronn, Lord of Harrenhal. I'm sure he can fix it up, too.
You would fucking dig it.
Definitely. But Bronn and I mean, they have good chemistry together. And I love Bronn, so it's always nice seeing him have some sort of role.
Well, yeah, and the alternative in the books is not seeing him again.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to Dorne.
Yep. Illyria meets with Doran, and I don't know. She's still hot about Oberyn. She wants to cause war, go to war with the Lannisters, and she's mad at Marcella for some reason. It's totally ridiculous. I mean, in the books, Illyria, she's scared of war. She wants to protect the Sand Snakes. The Sand Snakes want to go to war, but there's just so much at play where it's not just, oh, the Lannisters killed Oberyn and killed Elia, so now we have to torture their daughter and send pieces to Cersei. It's just comes out of nowhere, really.
Yeah, it doesn't feel genuine.
I mean,
she's, like you said, that she's blaming the sins of the father on Marcella.
I mean, the whole thing with, the Sand Snakes mad about Oberyn dying and Doran having to arrest them and Arianne trying to position Marcella to take the throne and the conflict with, you have Aerys Oakheart and you have Areo Hoda in the mix, There's just so much different dynamics.
But we do see,
but he gets no screen time.
That's all he does.
Yeah. There's especially with Arianne and Aerys Oakheart, there's so much there. And just her political maneuvering is fantastic. And Doran's, too, behind the scenes. There's so much potential here, and they just water it down to, oh, they killed our father and killed Elia, so we have to blame Marcella and go to war. And you're weak, Doran, for not doing so.
And he is weak. What she says about him is accurate, that he's just sitting there doing nothing. He has no plan. There is no Doran.
Well, yeah,
master
in the
plan.
show, there's no fucking plan. So
Right.
She's actually right.
Yeah.
But she didn't have to be because there should have been more at play.
Right. And she doesn't have the role that she does in the book.
No, she's basically on the sidelines, and
Yeah.
she's actually concerned for, she doesn't want, I think something like Obara is, rallying the troops, and I think, she's, I think she's concerned for her daughter. She doesn't want to go to war.
Yeah, she cautions restraint.
Yeah.
For all of Dorne, even though she is very torn up about Oberyn's death, as she should be. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It's not that it doesn't make sense. It's just very two-dimensional. It's not the political maneuvering that we see in the book. It's not like previous seasons that we've seen these stories adapted. I just don't understand the change because you can do the Arianne storyline in 2 episodes.
And she's a great character.
She's a great character.
argue,
The way that she manipulates Oakheart is fantastic. The way that her plan to sit Myrcella on the Iron Throne, that whole night that they spend trying to move Myrcella from one place to another. But it's the butterfly effect once again. It's you eliminate this, you don't have young Griff. They all tie together.
You could have easily maneuvered it where they're supporting Viserys, and then they turn their attentions to Dany. Because they kind of do that. They align with Dany in season 7.
Right.
So you could have maneuvered it that way without having young Griff. So.
Yeah, you could have. I'm surprised that wasn't the move that they did in the show. It's a scene that's, I think it's well acted. I think it's well written. And the actor who plays Doran was actually upset with the minimal amount of screen time that he got in season 5 and season 6.
And what makes the first 4 seasons so great is the political maneuvering and the political drama that is Game of Thrones. We kind of lose that in this season, where Arianne would have fulfilled that need and more, I think.
Well, going to Meereen, where we still have some of that political intrigue. And it's an arc, season 5, a lot of people don't like Daenerys' arc. Even in this episode, I like everything that happened in Meereen. I like how this all played out. And it begins with Grey Worm and Daario. They're patrolling the streets, and Daario tells Grey Worm that the Unsullied are never going to find the Sons of the Harpy because they're too conspicuous. They stand out like a sore thumb. Obviously, you're going to keep your secrets to yourself when you see the Unsullied. But the Second Sons, they blend in.
Yeah.
It's a great lesson that Grey Worm learns. The power of fear.
He asks him if he's scared, and Grey Worm's like, oh, no, Unsullied never fear. And Daario's like, well, that's a disadvantage because I do fear, and I know what I would do in this situation. And he's able to find the Son of the Harpy in the wall.
And Grey Worm finds the weapons and the mask, and they bring this to Daenerys that they've found one of the Sons of the Harpy. And it's interesting because he's not one of the masters. He's just kind of a pleb.
Like a foot soldier.
Yeah. He's just a poor pawn in this game. And this is why I found this scene to be very interesting.
Well, yeah, you have the different perspectives. You have the perspective of a former slave who suggests that they kill him because that's what they know. They know blood. And then you have the point of view of the Kingsguard, Sir Barristan Selmy, who says, justice, trial. I've seen what happened with the Mad King. Differing perspectives, which Dany takes the advice and she's able to use it and then make her up her own mind. And I think she does make the right decision.
She does. And that scene between her and Barristan Selmy, the way that he delivers the story, his voice, he has such a powerful voice.
Yeah.
He burned men alive with wildfire and laughed as they screamed. And his efforts to stamp out dissent led to a rebellion that killed every Targaryen, except 2.
I'm not my father.
Now you're Christ. Thank the gods.
He uses it as a cautionary tale where he knows that she is different, but he doesn't want her to make the same mistakes that he did. And she heeds his advice and gives him a trial. And, I mean, you have the fucking evidence right there. It's pretty clean, pretty clear cut who he's guilty, so he'll kill him eventually.
Right.
So, I don't know what the whole...
Yeah, and what he says about her father, too, is that he would sentence people, and the more that he sentenced, the more that he killed, the more powerful he felt. That it made him believe that he could do no wrong, that his word was reality. And it's an important lesson for Daenerys, and we see this even in the later seasons, that she still has to have people check her worst impulses. But she's not her father, and she does heed the advice of her counselors, especially somebody like Barristan, who becomes almost a father figure. And on their way to find Daenerys, we have Tyrion and Varys in a box on their way to Meereen.
It's a hell of a way to travel.
It is. Very uncomfortable.
Better than riding a horse.
You have to wonder how long have they been in that fucking box.
Yeah, but Varys tells Tyrion that they're going to Volantis. That's the road to Meereen. I like this conversation they have. They talk about Tyrion's time as Hand, and he tells him he was good at it. And Tyrion even says that she wanted me to leave, but I liked it. I liked being in the fray. I liked being in King's Landing, working the politics, working people, and playing the game.
Great line by Varys when he says that they'll never follow us because we're not leaders. And even though they won't follow us, we can at least try to influence those who are in power. And Tyrion, he's still drinking himself to death on their way to Meereen. And Varys kind of gets tired of all the self-pitying, and he has a great line. He was like, are we just going to keep talking about the futility of everything? And Tyrion says, yeah, you're right, there's no point. Great response. Great back and forth between these characters. I wonder if he does regret not leaving with Shae.
No, that's in Tyrion's nature.
Yeah, he's
He would have been miserable just fucking doing nothing, being left out. All the money in the world, he still would have that itch to get back into it. You know, Jordan, he retired. He saw the itch to come back.
Oh, they both kind of got their dads killed.
But yeah, one of the reasons why Tyrion can't leave the box is Varys informs him that Cersei has put out a bounty and will grant a lordship to someone who brings back Tyrion's head, and they're trying.
Not him.
Yeah, it does look like Tyrion.
They're trying.
I wonder if it was one of those fake heads that they make.
Like
They
paper
just-
mache.
Yeah, paper mache, just kind of make it like Tyrion. I mean, like behind the scenes, not the
Oh.
characters in the show.
Thinking of
Yeah.
these like.
Like the Ned head in season 1.
Yeah, I got you.
Because it kind of does look like Tyrion.
Well, I've heard they said those are expensive to make.
Yeah, that's true. Well, season 5 get a bigger budget
Yeah, I'm just saying.
for the dragons and fake Tyrion head.
But yeah, this is same thing in the books where people have like they bring the fake, not fake heads, but heads of different people that are not Tyrion trying to get this lordship.
And Tyrion says, he's like, is Cersei going to kill every dwarf? And then he thinks, yeah, probably. Yeah, she'd
Yeah.
probably do that. But even when he talks about the bounty, just to go back for a second, when she says that she should just offer herself for my head, the best part of her for the best part of me. Great line, man. Twice Tyrion made me laugh out loud.
Nah, they love each other.
These Lannisters, yeah, they got a weird relationship. Talk about weird.
Yeah, of course, fucking Qyburn
Qyburn.
wants the fucking head.
Pardon, Your Grace.
What's he gonna do with that?
If you don't mind. He's probably just going to examine it, like they're doing at the Citadel, weigh the brain, or put it on. No, maybe that's the head of the mountain.
No, it looks like Sir Greg. It looks
Yeah,
like the
that's probably
actor.
true. I just thought I had a great theory, and you just shot me down. Feel good about yourself?
Very good.
And she doesn't want to deter any other hunters for Tyrion. So Meryn Trans right away. You want me to kill them? No, you can let them go. They tried their best.
It's not like it's murder or anything.
No, yeah. Well, wow, holy shit. Yeah, right. You think Cersei would be like, sentence them? Who cares?
Well, we see Cersei preside over the small council in Tommen's stead, and yeah, it is a great scene. Just Tommen didn't make any of these fucking decisions.
Oh, Tommen. Tommen has no idea what's
I
going
love how
on.
Mace is like, oh, I'll be hand of the king. She's like, no, you're master of coin now.
He's like, oh shit,
She gives Mace master of coin,
2 titles.
Qyburn the new master
I
of
can't
whispers,
wait to tell Olenna.
Kevin master of war, and
That's like a new title, right?
I've never heard that before.
She's just making shit up at this point. It's like, Kevin, you're the master at not being the hand of the king, but you're next in line, man. If anything happens to the hand, who is the hand of the
My
king?
favorite here is that she names him master of war, and then he inquires about Jaime. It's like, oh,
he's on a diplomatic mission. That's none of your concern, though.
so you just named him master of war. I think diplomatic missions.
That literally is. She's so good in this scene.
Yeah.
But Kevin, that relationship, yeah, it's there in the books as well, where they have a back and forth because, he doesn't trust Cersei. And I don't think it has to do anything. It doesn't have anything to do with her being a woman. He knows her nature. He's probably familiar with who Cersei is.
And he goes back to the Rock, which I'm probably doing too.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
He's Lord of Castle Rock now.
Yeah, I guess he is at this point, yeah. Yeah, when this scene started, I totally forgot about Shireen and Gilly and that they kind of develop a friendship. I thought it was Davos again. But it turns out to be a really cute scene between all 3 of these characters.
Yeah, she's a good teacher. S's do look like snakes.
So you got to use visual aids.
Mhm.
And then Sam reading about the youngest Lord Commander.
Did you know that the youngest Lord Commander in history, Osric Stark, was elected at the age of 10?
I know S.
She also inquires into Shireen's grayscale.
Mhm.
Another piece of foreshadowing in this episode.
Yeah, they get into it, and we obviously see grayscale at full effect later on in the season. So it's a nice here's some little information for later on, just so you're not out of the loop.
Yeah, another clever creation by George R. R. Martin, an original disease in the show. Something that's, you could tell that it's in a fantasy world, but it feels realistic enough.
Mm-hmm.
And Shireen being just a rarity, an anomaly, somebody who was able to survive this disease that she had, maesters from all over the world coming to treat her.
Now, Jorah has no remnants of grayscale on his body, right?
He's probably got the scars, but yeah, no. He doesn't have it like Shireen does.
Yeah.
Because even though that looks like a scar, it looks like a scab.
Yeah.
Jorah's got the marks, almost. Like he was struck by lightning, it looks like. I wonder if that's what happened to Shireen, though. Because they kind of make it out like it's terminal.
Well,
You get grayscale, you're done.
It seems like Jorah's was peeled off, where Shireen's was just stopped.
Right, yeah.
So I guess it's different.
Stop from spreading.
Yeah.
It seems like something that's inside of you. I don't know. But then Selyse comes down and says not to trust these wildlings.
They could strike at him by striking at you.
Gilly wouldn't do that.
You have no idea what people will do. All your books and you still don't know.
And here we have Jon meeting with King Stannis, and I said in the last episode, yeah, King Stannis, you like that?
Yeah, I do, I
because
do.
he's king. Davos keeps saying it.
Fuck! Oh, no. Oh, my God. The fucking Jets, man. The goddamn fucking Jets. They can't do anything fucking right.
What the hell just happened?
They hired Adam Gase as their fucking head coach.
Who's that?
The guy who got ran out of town in Miami. The players said if they brought him back, they would request a trade. They want that guy to be leading their fucking franchise. God damn it, man. And Mike McCarthy saying they want to come, a Super Bowl winning coach who helped develop Aaron Rodgers. He wanted to go to the fucking Jets, and he says no. They say no to him and hire this fucking scrub. God damn it.
We've got Teddy on the way, so we got to finish this.
Oh, man.
It's the Jets. What do you expect? You ready?
Yeah. You can leave that in.
And Stannis here is inquiring to Jon as to why he disobeyed his order. And he tells him, the king's word is law. When I pass a sentence, that's how it's supposed to go. But he doesn't punish him because there's something that he wants from Jon. And I think he almost respects what he did to Mance Rayder. Because Stannis, I think he's a character he's still unsure of himself. Even though Melisandre's been whispering in his ears for all these years, I still think deep down that's not something that Stannis would have done.
And Jon tells Stannis that the free folk won't follow him anyway. Very upfront with him.
Yeah, Stannis says, who will they follow? You? Another piece of foreshadowing. Jon doesn't believe it at the time. He says, no, they'll only follow one of their own. And Stannis switches the conversation to Lyanna Mormont.
Yeah.
The first mention of this character, even with a letter, you could tell that she's just sassy. It's such a great letter. It's so well written. Bear Island knows no king but the king of the north whose name is Stark, and Jon can't help but to smirk.
Yeah.
That must have felt good for him in that moment. Sense of pride that people still love your family.
Yeah, even though all the terrible things that have happened, and he's probably thinks he's the only one left. He knows Bran's around, but like we said, no one saw Sansa or Arya, so it's kind of nice to see the Stark name still holding weight. But yeah, and then Davos and Stannis switched the conversation to who's going to be the next Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and Alistair's the favorite. Like 538 has him as a projected winner, and that's not going to be good for you. So
they had Hillary winning, so come on, Jon. We know how that turned out.
So like maybe you might want to think of maybe he's getting out of here, being Lord of Winterfell. Come on.
It's a good tactic. It makes sense. Jon Snow, his life will probably become hell. The way that the music swells up, that you see Jon react, all of it's a great moment for Jon, even though he's not going to accept it.
I remember reading this. I'm like, you better fucking take it. Come on. Come on.
It just speaks to the guy's character, man.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, even last episode, we didn't mention it. He's training the kid who killed the love of his life. He's willing to take this kid on as an apprentice. He gets it. He gets the big picture.
Yeah, he said he can't rule over Winterfell if he breaks his vows. That's what he tells Sam, that he's going to refuse the offer. And then they have the election night at Night's Watch.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't have, like, Walt Blitzer just overreacting to every single little thing that was put down. And we've got a count of 25 for Alistair Thorne here. Go to John King on the big touchpad.
We got 10% of the vote, and Jon has the early lead. But Shadow Tower hasn't voted yet, and they've been leaning Mallister.
We can call this one for Mallister. Also, when Samwell speaks up and nominates Jon Snow, and everything that he says about Jon is true. And Jon, you can see that he's like, no, Sam, don't do this. You're embarrassing me. He's not somebody that is going to actively seek out leadership roles. Mm-hmm. But leadership is thrust upon him because he is their best hope.
Does Aemon always wait for the end, or he was just waiting to see what happens?
Well, he's like the senator. He's like Mike Pence, the VP. He votes in the Senate to break a tie. This is better in the books, though. So that's a repeating trend in season 5.
Nah, it's who cares? It's little. You're right, but it's not.
Snow.
I admit they should have brought back the fucking Raven.
Well, I guess maybe the CGI.
Was it Crow or Raven?
That's a crow, right? Mm. And there's theories that Blood Raven was controlling the Raven. Mm-hmm. So to position Jon as the Lord Commander, the 998th Lord Commander, and he does win. But there's a great line, too, by Alistair when he says, a man who has fought... Who do you want to lead you? A man who has fought wildlings all his life, or a man who makes love to them? You would think that's the killer line, man.
Why not both? Jon does do both.
Yeah.
Not his whole life. He's kind of new to the game, but he's dabbled in a little both.
He dabbles in both sides. Yeah, he's a moderate. I like that about Jon. Pragmatist.
We go from a potential Stark to a confirmed Stark in Arya. She's kind of reminiscent to...
Sure she's not a Targaryen?
Who fucking knows?
It's out there. That theory's got to be out there.
I think that's one that is confirmed, not out.
Season 8 preview video? Is Arya a Targaryen?
That's the clickbait. That's the one.
That is some clickbait. Yeah.
And we turn off the likes and dislikes so people don't see how much
no
it gets
comments,
hated.
nothing.
Yeah.
Two
but
sponsorships on that video.
Very reminiscent to Arya in King's Landing when she's hunting the bird.
Yes, I noticed that. Nice
Yes.
callback.
Now here she's in Bravos
The
doing the same.
footwork.
A little more
Ooh.
humane now. Just a quick little cut before she fucking grabbed it.
Yeah, she's like, come here. Peter Griffin and the Giant Chicken.
Yeah.
Now it's very elegant.
But yeah, she runs into some street toughs.
Yeah. It's like, you know that we're a street gang because we have one of every race. Bravosi, a Volanti, and a Yunkanese.
And Arya stands up for herself, draws needle, and at this point, I'm like thinking, wait, this isn't Arya, that went toe to toe with Brienne. This is Arya still learning when, like,
No backup. Still talking tough.
yeah,
She's like,
she always have, but she's always overrating herself in earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Before she trains, she still thinks like, oh, Syrio told me how to water dance, so he's from Bravo, so it might probably work.
It was a weird choice here because she's not even showing fear. She's
Well,
like, oh, this
at
is
this
going to be a
point-
piece of cake.
Well, yeah, at this point, but I don't think. Who knows?
Well, she's like, dead men, valuables mean nothing to dead men. But then her boy,
It's like little girl, we were just trying to help you find your parents. You thought you were lost. You're out here killing pigeons.
that's the first sign of a serial killer. Come on, we're trying to
Yeah.
help you. No, we're trying to murder you.
And then Jackin, not yet, almost Jackin.
It's kind of jacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. He finds her, gives her back the coin, tells her to come with him, and
So we had to waste a day.
yeah, I just wanted to see what you're all about. I left. I threw the coin. Like, if anything, you should have not have came and
Yeah,
got
how did
me.
you even get that?
Yeah,
Use the whites that pulled up the dragon?
sent a wave.
Right. That's why the wave hates Arya. It's like, you made me get that coin. I was soaked.
That's like the East River of Bravos. It's disgusting in there.
There's a lot of dead mobsters in there.
Yeah.
Hoffa. No, but she gets entrance into the house of black and white, and Jaqen does the face thing again. Not as cool. That's
I
the
kind of
first
like
time.
the pan behind Arya's back and on the other side.
Yeah, but the pan tells me that it's not real. It's like when Mystique changes characters after she walks like behind something, and I'm like, oh, they just had the other actor walk.
Okay.
I want CGI. Yeah, but she's there. She's got accepted to My Hero Academia.
And we go back to Marine, and Massador pulls a Karstark.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really does. He was counseling in the first scene when
Yeah.
Danny, when they were all discussing this, saying, listen, Sir Barristan, I don't know where you're from, but apparently things are different there, but just a couple weeks ago, we were slaves. We were property. So we need an iron fist when we're dealing with people like this. And he takes matters into his own hands. The exchange that he has with the son of the Harpy, when he tells him that no matter how many of you traitors call her Misa, she'll never be your mother. And it just shows how difficult it is to just to change the culture of Marine. That it's not going to be an overnight thing. But what about this decision by Daenerys?
Yeah.
Why is she doing a public
I
execution?
have no idea. Why don't you give him a trial?
Yeah, where's his trial?
Well, he
yeah,
basically admitted
yeah,
to the
kinda
crime.
caught him
So.
red-handed.
But yeah, the public execution, I don't know, not the best look.
Even his doors, Olarak says,
Yeah.
should have did this in the pyramid.
It's not a good decision, and she kind of has like both sides hating on her. And yeah,
It is very tense, yeah. Like you said, both sides, both screaming.
the hissing,
The hissing, ugh. I don't know. What is it about hissing? It's just,
weird.
it's icky, yeah. It's calling her a snake, basically. Saying, you've betrayed us in this
Kevin
moment.
Durant of Marine.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess she kind of did jump sides to the Masters for a moment.
Oh, by the way,
Doesn't
they
make
only have
sense.
3 fucking colors in Marine. Well, look at the Masters. They're all wearing the same same
Oh, yeah,
variation
yeah,
of 3
well.
different colors.
They've only got one tailor.
Yeah.
And
Probably making a fucking killing. Though.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? It's a monopoly. That's what she should be worried about. The monopoly of the clothes in Marine, not the slaves. No, she should be worried about the slaves, too. Yeah, I mean, the way that she runs out, and it's scary for her in this moment. People are just randomly throwing shit. It's the malice in the palace. It's Ron Artest in the stands. It's chaos. And for a character that you don't know for that long, his death really hits you.
Yeah, it's a new perspective, and she's kind of silencing that new perspective, right?
Yeah.
So she's not only is she
Forever.
Yeah, I mean, not only is she killing what he is a traitor. He did go against her orders, but he thought like he was trying to, like a wink, wink, hush, hush. I can't kill him for treason, but if someone wanted to kill him, he's like, oh, I think I got this. I think I know what you want me to do.
Right.
I'm gonna, yeah. But
It is a Robb Stark decision. It's
Yeah.
very similar.
Yep.
And Robb, I think, made the wrong decision, and I think here Daenerys, the implications of the decision aren't as extreme as Robb's, but it's another.
I don't know yet. Maybe one of those. Season 8, someone
Season
from
8.
Marine.
This is
sailboat
for
over the west.
Massador.
Yeah. Who?
What? Yeah, and it ends, and they're all talking about how Barristan's going to stand outside of her door tonight, that they're all going to be on watch, and Daenerys just wants to be alone in this moment.
Yeah.
And that's when Drogon comes.
The free reign of him flying around, getting those flaps in, really helps with his traps.
Oh, yeah, no, he's on the come up. He's on a vegan diet. He stopped eating kids. It's plant-based now. No, I bet Drogon probably said, like, yo, I got like 17 kids on the way. 17 fathers with charred bones. I'm sorry. But it just speaks to the intelligence.
I was picturing him going to see Rhaegal and Viserion, but just like through the glass. It's like, I'm going to get you out.
They hold
Yeah.
one hand, yeah.
I'm going to get you guys out. It's like, I got the best lawyers working on the case. Don't worry. What she did.
Unusual punishment.
Yes.
Okay? Being held against your will.
Here, snuck you in some sheep.
And a little toddler, just don't say anything. But it just speaks to the intelligence of the dragon, that Drogon knows where she is. That Drogon hasn't been lost all of this time. He's just been coming into himself, you know? You gotta fly away from the coop. You gotta fly away from the nest, and...
All right, what would you give this episode out of?
Oh, out of 10, I'd probably give this a 9 out of 10.
Really?
I think this is Game of Thrones to me. And I've been waiting. I'm like, when is it not going to be Game of Thrones? Probably the moment where the Sand Snakes appear.
It was a mixed bag.
But up until now, everything's like going good.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we're back, baby.
I think I said it last week too. It was like just knowing where it ends up, it's kind of like hard to ignore. So
I'm ignoring it.
I give like a solid 8.
I'm repressing every memory.
It was a good
I have.
episode. 8.
All right, so overall, I think that was a solid review. I give our review a 9 out of 10.
That was a good. Oh.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video, and before we go, I want to quickly thank our Patreon supporters. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to grow and evolve as a channel, so thank you for your generous pledges. If you are interested in supporting our channel through Patreon, visit www.patreon.com/nerdsoup, and you can see the different rewards we offer to our Patreon supporters. T-shirts, mugs, stickers, access to our behind-the-scenes video, and more. Thanks again for watching this video, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Or dislike, don't share, and unsubscribe. It's a binary world, folks.